Welcome back, everybody, to the Blazer Victory Podcast. John Duncan here, and I'm joined as always with my co-host Darion Smith. And guys, unfortunately, UAB did not get it done on the field as they lose to the UTSA Roadrunners in double overtime, 44-38. Darion, it was a very roller coaster of a game. I'm sure we've got a bunch of UTSA fans listening. If you're a UTSA fan, you're kind of wondering like, how in the world did this game even get to overtime? And honestly, at some point, well, I'm in protective. I'm thinking like, dude, how did we do this? Like, how did we get it overtime? But of course, tough loss. But Darian, I just want to start this episode out like I'm so proud of our team, our players, man. Like you never want to get a participation trophy, but hey, the guys, down 14. 31-17 late in the game. They could have easily just laid down and say, you know what, whatever, we're done with this season. But they fought their tails off and was able to force overtime. And I'm just so proud of this team. We'll get into some other things that I'm not really proud about in a few minutes, but I'm just so proud of this team, man. They easily could have laid down and just said, packed up and just went home and got blown out by UTSA, but they fought hard and fought back and fought themselves back in it and had a chance to win at the end of the game. So, kudos to the team. But
I'm
yeah,
glad. I'm glad that's where you started because, because this is it's not all about just being gloom and doom. It's about giving flowers, work hard. That coaching staff work hard, no matter how we feel about whatever. Those guys work hard, and championship aspirations are out the window.
Yeah.
That was just playing for the man next to you, pride, and just taking pride in this program. That was all on display today. So I'm very proud. I'm beyond proud. Like I said, it feels good to kind of like be able to do this with none of those expectations weighing on you. I didn't have an expectation going into here. Like our goals aren't reachable at this point. But those guys went in there and they played a hell of a game.
They did.
I saw a lot of growth in a lot of stages during this game, and that's the solace I'm finding now at this point in the season. So proud of the team, proud of the coaches. You guys fought. Now we get into some of the criticisms here and there, but that's the first and foremost thing. Like that was a great spirit. So let's be proud of our guys for that.
Definitely. And hey, UTSA, hell of a team. You can see that, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Frank Harris, my goodness, man. 22-31, 285, 4 touchdowns. And the only time we got to him was really when he had that botched snap and Tuazama was able to get back there and get a sack. But, I thought that, UTSA did a really good job holding up against our front. Now, granted, we only rushed 3 again for the majority of the game. But, this is, if you guys go back and listen to our preview that we had with the guys from the Alamo Dome Audible with Jared and Adrian, this was a very, very banged up offensive line for UTSA. But I thought they held up really well throughout the whole game.
Yeah, they were good. They were physical. They did their thing, and Frank Harris is the best quarterback in this league.
Yeah, he is.
Everybody knows that he makes timely plays.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it seems like he makes the right decision. Timely. He just, I don't know what you really call that, but he just has it. Just makes right decisions. He just accurate. He seems to go to the right places every time. He seems to pull it down and run every time. At the right time every time. He gives his playmakers a chance to make plays. And the guy just has whatever moxie that is. You just trust him. So I just tip my hat to him.
Yeah, he's got that it factor, man. Like he's just a winner, and it feels like Jeff Traylor trusts him. At the end of ball games to put the ball in his hands, and just knowing that he's going to make the right decisions. And of course, that he did it again today. So definitely hats off. I did want to say before we get into talking more about UAB, I definitely wish DeCorian Clark, I hope that he's okay. It did not look good when they brought the card out to roll him out. And he might have a broken leg, I believe.
Yeah.
But I hate that for him.
I don't know. saw the replay. I know you were at the game. I couldn't go because I had the kiddos with me and it was raining.
Right.
I had to watch it at home, and I saw it. It did not look good.
I hate that. Hey, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but I mean, I was talking with Jared at the game, and I mean, this was a guy that was probably going to go pro this next year. He's been having a heck of a season, but you just hate to see that, man. Like, not alone with let alone with anybody, but a guy that has got the talent to go to the league. So I definitely hope that he can get better and maybe get better in time, for the draft in April, or if he decides to come back another year for UTSA, I definitely wish him a speedy recovery. So I believe we talked all UTSA we wanted to. Should we get into kind of what happened in this game?
Yeah, we can go over it.
Okay, let's start with false starts. What in the world is going on, Darion, with this offensive line? Like, it is every week, and I felt like at one point it was every drive that we had a false start. It's just inexcusable.
And it was funny, like the commentators was harping on it, like it was ridiculous. Hands down, the worst game our offensive line has played today. It's like you have Jacob Zeno within, you have backup quarterback. We need to do things to help him. We like the offensive line has to be the ones that's kind of like taking some ownership and taking some responsibility of saying, okay, we're going to play our part into helping our quarterback because he's the backup, right?
Right.
They did the opposite. It was a hindrance. Like, I was ashamed. Like, as an offensive lineman, all of those penalties, ridiculous. Pre-snap penalties,
just awful.
Then you throw in, holding here and there. You throw in giving up pressure again on their right side. I saw that happen a couple times. I was not very thrilled by the offensive line play this game. Jacob Zeno had a good game in spite of them.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, because I was impressed as well with Zeno. I thought he had a good game, and also too, Darion. Looking back at the FAU film, I do think that I was a little more critical than I should have been of his playing. Take away that the first quarter of the FAU game was awful, but outside of that, I think he did a decent job. But today, man, other than that one interception that he threw into like triple coverage, I mean, he balled today. I mean, he looked more comfortable. Now, he still got sacked a few times, and I mean, that offensive line didn't do him any favors, like you just mentioned, with the false start and putting them behind the line. But I thought that Zeno played a heck of a game. I mean, what did he end up? 27 to 38 for 332 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the lone pick. But hey, Zeno looked good today. I'm feeling a little bit better. Of course, still wish we had Hopkins out there, but I'm feeling a lot better about Zeno than at least I did last week.
Yeah, I am too. But I think it's important to notice, like, all right, I think the discussion about Zeno is so nuanced, it's so layered.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna get into it. So it was the difference between halves, of course. And yes. I don't think Zeno was that great in the first half. I think because it was a couple of balls that could have been picked that they didn't pick, and he was kind of staring down one receiver. One thing I started noticing, because he was really good in that second half, the thing that's irking me about our offense, why does it take so long to get the play call in?
Oh my gosh.
This is really, really hurting the offense. Like, and that's the reason that we had, and we did it one time today where he had in the second half where he had to call timeout. It was and I saw, if you look when looking on the TV, I could see Zeno like kind of like, hey, hurry up, get the play call in.
Mm-hmm. He's waiting on the coaches, yeah.
He's waiting on the coaches, and so it's like 11 seconds every time when they finally get it into him. So you gotta call the play call in 11 seconds. Mm-hmm. I used to hate this as a center. Okay, so in 11 seconds you gotta call the play call. Everybody gotta line up. You gotta make your calls and everything. And if you got people in motion, you got to put them in motion and do all of this. And we're barely getting the ball off every time. And so I think that really hinders. I'm like, why is one thing I realized, I was listening to this basketball podcast. I didn't really know the difference between pace and tempo. So this is so pace is like in football, it'll be like how quick you get the snap off between plays. So it's like if we snapping the ball in this 28 seconds left on the play clock, that's a quick pace.
Right.
Tempo is how fast that you can go in between. So it is not necessarily getting the ball off at 28 seconds. Is are we lined up in, you know what I'm saying? Our tempo. Yeah. We have horrible tempo. Like we have horrible pace too, because it's like it's so lethargic.
Yeah.
I don't understand why do we put ourselves in a disadvantage, and then our tempo is slow and it's coming in late. What I noticed in that second half, especially in the end on that drive where he tied it up, all of a sudden we're going with tempo, we're playing with pace, we getting lined up.
It's like, where's this been? Yeah.
Why don't we do this all the time? Like
Man,
we're throwing the ball, we're playing, and next thing you know, we putting points on the freaking board.
Right.
I'm like, God, that's when I realized. You realize when we got to overtime, it was a lot of that same let's go slow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my! It was like, I don't understand that. Like, we don't have to play with pace. We don't have to snap the ball. Texas Tech back in the day, snap. Let's see, like Oklahoma. Let's see how many snaps we can get.
Right.
We don't have to do that, but we need to play with tempo. You need to give the offensive line. We don't need to be calling the plays at 11 seconds. Give them time to scan, give them time to set up, to see where they're going, because now all of a sudden we don't have time to process pre-snap.
Right.
That is important. I knew that was important as a center. It's important for a quarterback. Maybe that's why he was staring down his number one receiver, Zeno was, because you don't have time to read the defense because you barely get your play in.
Exactly. And
So
I swear, dude,
a big difference.
I swear, and I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong about this. But that next to the last series in regulation where UAB scored to make it 31-24, I believe, that drive was just taking so long, and they were just taking so long to get the play call in. That run where Zeno scored, I swear that he just said screw it, looking at the sideline, and just snapped it and ran it. Like I think he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna snap the ball and run. He got the touchdown, and I hope I'm wrong that they got the play call into him. But I swear from the outside it was like he was like, screw it, I'm just gonna snap the ball and just take it myself, and it worked. But it's very frustrating. And here we go seeing again, having to blow timeouts. It happened again today. I still don't understand why you burn a timeout and then you just run a draw play or a handoff play. Then I just don't understand. And I know, Darren, we're not coaches, but it just makes no sense. Like when you have, like you've got to have assistants at least helping you get the play calls out. Like,
yes,
is it just them just taking forever, just making their mind up about the next play, like, or what? It's so frustrating to watch. And I mean, to be honest, no wonder the offensive line jumps at false start, because they almost probably confused too about what the play call is. Like, I don't know.
Time getting that playoff, why is our play? It's under 5 seconds every time. It's like we're struggling to get the playoff, and it's like
Yep.
not giving anybody time to process
None.
any pre-snap. That's my biggest thing. The second thing is, it's like I got this from another podcast too. I think, and I mentioned this before. It's like when you have too many options in the refrigerator sometimes, and you can't decide on what to cook.
Right.
Our problem, like it seems like 1st and 10. It's like 2nd and 10. Even the commentators were saying things that we've been saying. It's like, man, that play was obvious. Everybody knew Debo was getting the ball on 4th and 2.
Yes, stupid.
All this stuff is obvious. It's like sometimes I feel like we have too many options when it's seeing how the second half, we have too many options. We kind of don't know what we want to go to. I guess let's do this option. I know I got it in late. Let's just give it to Debo doing this. And it's kind of like all of a sudden in the second half, we didn't have those options available. We had to just go, and Zeno got in a rhythm. we got a pace, we got a tempo going.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like, we were gassing them, we wasn't subbing, it wasn't taking so long. And I'm like, wow, you take away the options, and we are probably a good offense.
Right.
Like, I don't know, man. I just hopefully I think Brian Vincent saw a lot in himself, like in his coaching style. That's what I
Yeah.
said. I was like, this was I learned a lot about our team, about our offense this game, and I learned a lot about Coach Vincent's play style. And I know this is probably going into another subject, but let's be real. Most likely he's not going to be here at the end of the year. I hope he can take this game and apply it and say, I think this game can make him a better coach, honestly.
Yeah.
I think with his play calling, with everything, because he got it going. He got a rhythm. I felt like he started getting the plays in, and it just felt like he found his identity. He only blew one time out this time, not two. You know,
Right.
and I think he was decisive, and I was like, okay, I saw a difference between the first half and the second half, whether it was by choice or force, it was a difference, and it seemed like he was better in the second half. So I hope this is a key game that he can look to, because I like him and I wish him well, but I'm just being real. I mean, we got how many conference losses?
Was it 4 now? Yeah, 2 and 4. Yeah.
We're like at the bottom of the. Come on.
Oh yeah, we down there with FIU now. Shit.
It's embarrassing. Like let's
It is. Yeah.
it is what it is at this point, but it doesn't mean that we have to not like him and not root for Brian Vincent. Brian Vincent has been a part of this program for a long time. He is green and gold. He is Birmingham. I love him. I wish him nothing but success, but we know what time we know what time it is, and we know, just that's just how it's how it goes. That's what college football coaching. That's how it goes. So,
Yeah, and I
instead
mean, hey,
of,
yeah, I agree 100%. I was gonna say though, I'm glad you mentioned that. I think this game, I think the coaching staff, Vincent made a really good halftime adjustments. Coming out
he
of
did.
halftime,
He
and
did.
that's honestly one of the first times that we've seen that. Normally it's
It's the
just
other way around.
it's the other way around, yeah, where we start off strong and then just suck the second half. But yeah, I will give the staff credit. I thought they did, especially that fourth quarter. I thought they turned it on into kind of turned things into another gear that honestly we haven't seen all year. It kind of makes you wonder, like, hey, why haven't we been trying to do stuff like this? I mean, I get it, like 2-minute offense, but still, like when you're going like that, like, and you've got the weapons that you have at wide receiver, like Shropshire, Fred Ferrier, Rudolph, and hey, shout out to Tayshawn Palmer, man, that dude balled
Mm-hmm.
out today. Like, and you've got all these weapons, like you've got to spread it out some instead of just being slow, methodical, just handing it to Debo. And I'll tell you what, man, that fourth down play, like everybody in that stadium knew Debo was going to get it. He was going to get that
Everybody,
ball.
commentator said it. The commentator said it.
And they ran what, counter? I think they ran counter
Horrible.
on that. Like
Horrible.
awful, god awful. That's that's
That's a
high
horrible
school.
call.
That's high school, man. That's a high school offense right there. That's
Right.
what it is.
Right.
Like, and I don't know, man. So frustrating. But all the negative things that we just said, I'm still, just proud of this team. Like they never gave up. They, kept fighting to the end. And I mean, darn near almost pulled it off, man. And honestly, did you think about it when we scored that last touchdown to Schropp? Did you think about it? Hey, they might go for 2 here, because I thought they were going to go for 2.
I thought about it. I understand, Brian Vincent.
Me too. And hey, you had fought your way back, so it's like, hey, if you don't get it, then it's like, what was all that for? So I understand.
And honestly, it turned out to be the right decision because we came out and we scored in overtime.
True.
So we put it in a position where the defense was going to be able to make the difference, and I would bet that every time, and they weren't able to pull through. That's just what it was. But I thought that his decision right there, paid off. I would have been in the F it mode. F it, go for 2.
Right.
Like what we got to lose.
Exactly. Shoot. Exactly. That's how I was.
I want to say, like, I know I said, like, most likely Vincent is gone. It's almost like 100% at this point. Of course, like we're not. It is what
No,
it is.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
What I want people to understand is we have to give him grace, right? Because this is his
Yes.
first year as a head coach. He was put into a position that he
And
didn't expect to
in a
be.
tough, I mean, like he was thrown in there, man. Like you
Right.
got your coach, saying, hey, all of a sudden, hey, I can't coach anymore, which we understand. Bill had his back issues. That is 100% legit, and we wish him the best. But it's like, okay, well, I got to hurry up and get this team ready in what, a month or two before the season starts. Like, and I'm gonna be the head coach. Like, that's a tough position, man.
Right. That's a very tough position. Not only being in that position, it's not like he was at a La Tech of Middle Tennessee where it wasn't really expectations at
Right.
this. It, it was heavy expectations on his team. So we're talking about the best rosters, one of the best rosters ever UAB has assembled for
And I,
football.
I still say that, bro. I still think this is the most talented team UAB's ever had.
Yes, but it was just Brian Vincent got caught in a tough position, and
Yeah.
I feel like he's done a lot of growing over this year, over this time, except that he was in a position to where this was a team that wasn't looking to grow. We was looking to compete. So the
Yeah.
situation he was in was not fair to him. I have seen him grow. I have. And like I said, I know that he won't be the coach for the team next year. But I hope he gets a good opportunity because I did see a lot of growth from him.
Right.
Um, I just seen, like, as we saw in this game, we saw him get better in the second half. And it's just we got to give him grace for the job he's done. Like, I think we're not a clutch team, we're an almost team. I think it's indicative of him being a first time head coach in a tough position when he didn't know he was going to be a head coach. So it's a lot of almost that we've had this year. But
Mm-hmm.
at least he's had us competing. Now that the pressure's off, now that the expectations gone, I can speak how I feel about him.
Yeah.
Great guy, great motivator. That's a skill that you don't find in many people. I think I saw the decision making grow over the year, and he's persevered. He's stuck through there. The team played with high spirits. That speaks to something. So my hats off to him, man. I hope that he goes on. I hope he gets another opportunity. I hope he's successful, and hope to see him down the road. He's not gone.
Definitely.
I'm talking like he's gone or something, but like now he's not gone now. But I'm just speaking to his character.
Yeah. And I mean, just looking real quick too at the game. If you didn't catch this game and you look at the box score, two things are going to stand out to why UAB lost this game. UTSA 9 of 15 on third down. I swear there was like 2 or 3 third and tens, Darian, that UAB's defense just wasn't able to get off the field. And you do got to kind of tip your hat to Frank Harris and just his playmaking ability and just finding a way to get that first down. So that was the first thing that really pops off. And the second thing is, well, we've already talked about it, but UAB 10 penalties for 63 yards. I mean, it's not 100 yards, but it's still 10 penalties, and most of those were false starts. And that, pre-snap
Oh my!
penalties. Yeah. So, yeah, but hey, got to move on from this. Next week is a must-win game against North Texas. UAB falls to 4-5, 2-4 in Conference USA play, but you got to get 6 wins to be bowl eligible. So UAB's got to win 2 games out of these next 3. And for those that don't know, North Texas is next week. Then they go to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers in 2 weeks, and then we finish in Ruston against Louisiana Tech. So, hey, the way this team's playing now, hey, they're not going to beat LSU, and I mean they've got to take care of business next Saturday against North Texas if they want to go bowling.
Yeah, and that's just being bowl eligible. I mean, you call it a must win. The real goal is out the way, man. I feel like this team playing with house money. I don't think it. I know it's a must win to be bowl eligible, but that wasn't really the goal.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. They playing with house money. Just go out there and have fun and play like y'all did this week, man. Just have pride in yourself. Just play free. I think Brian Vincent ought to be in effort mode.
I mean, yeah, pressure ought to be off now. Yeah.
4th and 5. We on the 37-yard line. Go for it.
What's the meme that says like, was it like, if it so and so's deep or something, just throw it up? That's kind of it. Hey, Shropshire Palmer. Hey, yeah, they somewhere out there.
Yeah, I'm finna throw this thing up, man. Like, I know you down there somewhere. Like, I wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't. Like, go ahead, man. Just do your thing. Try some stuff out. Grow yourself as a coach. Grow yourself as a quarterback. So it's just do your thing, man. Just have fun, and we behind you. I love this team. So you ain't nothing that they can do to make me stop loving the UAB Blazers.
No, hey, same here, man. We're always gonna bleed green and gold, no matter what. And hey, I think good things are ahead for this program. So
yeah,
just gotta make it through this season.
Yep. All right. Guess what? Just making it games like today will make it easier to make it through the game. They didn't lay down. They didn't do none of that. They fought hard. They was in position to win, man. When no expectations on them, they were right there. And I don't know. I didn't know how much I was going to appreciate that. I thought I wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes out at the end. I appreciated how they fought. I appreciated the coaching staff for, we went for it on 4th and 6 and got that lucky bounce and we caught the ball. But I appreciated it. Look at him, got the kahunas on him. You know what I'm saying? He went for it and we got lucky, but we got it. And I'm like, man, I just appreciate the fight that we have. Like, it's indicative of, it's a reflection of who you are in tough times. And we don't got nothing to play for right now, but we playing for like just pride and playing for the program. I just really appreciated the fight on the staff and between the players.
No doubt. Well, all right, guys. Again, UAB loses in double overtime, 44-38, drops to 4-5 overall, and will need 2 out of the last 3 games. They'll need to win 2 out of the last 3 to be bowl eligible. But Darion and I will be back, hopefully talking some basketball and put our basketball preview up for you guys. Basketball season does start Monday night as the team plays against Alabama State. And also we'll have a preview for football as UAB will take on the North Texas Mean Green. So we'll be back shortly, guys. But as always, hey, we appreciate you, UAB fans, Blazer Victory Podcast fans, for sticking in, listening to these episodes with us. We appreciate you. Actually, hey, Darion, I meant to tell you this. At the game today, I got a few people, because my dad wore a Blazer Victory Podcast hoodie, and he got some love for wearing that. So it was good to know. It was good to see. Hey, if you guys see us out in public, tell us you like the show. It's awesome to just hear that in person. You guys are awesome on Twitter and social media, but it's pretty awesome to, kind of hear it in person and see it in person. So
yeah, and we don't get paid or nothing for this. We do it for the passion, but just hearing that from you guys.
Yes.
Like just hearing, sometimes I get called at work or, they write us, on social media, Facebook, Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Get text messages. Man, that means something to us. Like we all do it because we have passion for this team that we love. That's it. So thank you guys. We love you guys. We're a real family here. And I feel the love even through tough times.
Definitely. Well, all right, guys. We'll be back shortly. Go Blazers.
Go Blazers.